Hello everyone, my name is Brian. In today's video we're going to pursue an idea. The idea is that we want to create a mortise and tenon joint. Instead of using a mortising press, a series of holes that we drill and a chisel to chisel out the mortise, what we're going to pursue is a different idea, and this idea is using a Festool Domino to create a mortise of a general width. And by general width, what I mean is that Festool Domino will create a slot this wide, but what we want is we want a tenon of arbitrary size that we might cut on a different mating piece of wood. In the video that follows, we demonstrate this idea. But what it's going to come down to is that we need to create multiple Festool Domino slotting cuts, and we need to separate the center of those two cuts, and the separation distance is something that we'll come back to at the end of the video and show you how to calculate. Let's say you don't want to calculate this. One thing that you could do is just take your Festool Domino and start at the center line that's closest to the outboard part of the board that you're working with, and then you can move over until you meet where you want to, or where this should end at. But this is a little bit of a hunting kind of roaming kind of idea, and you can certainly end up overcutting if you do that. So we're almost there. It looks like this will almost fit. So when we get close, we can push that in pretty close, and there's a little bit of a gap there. So what I want to do is I want to diagnose what's wrong, why this doesn't fit. I've already checked. The first thing to check is the bottom of your mortise to see if there's any material still at the bottom. Then another thing to do would be to look at your tenon and look at where there might be extra material, and it looks like that over here on this side there's I've cut a little bit at an angle, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a shoulder plane to remove material that's close to the shoulder. Okay, so I didn't need to remove too much. After some refinement of the shoulder, we can put this together, and it looks pretty good. In the next three pictures, I talk about how to find the locations where we're going to put these center lines to line up our Festool Domino. Here in the green lines, these are the outer edges of our mortise in picture one. Our second picture here, I maybe led you to believe that that center portion was what we're going to write a formula for to calculate, but it turns out there's a simpler way to do this. Instead of writing an equation for finding that separation distance, what would be easier is just to use those edges of our mortises and then realize that we just take the half width of whatever our domino setting. For example, my domino setting, the medium size width, is a half an inch. So this would correspond to moving over a half an inch from the shoulders or from the ends of my mortises to find the center lines. This is a picture of the domino setting that I used in today's video along with a 6mm bit. In this next picture you can see the half widths that I measured on my domino for all three of the settings. I hope you enjoyed today's video and hope it was helpful.